Alright, hi there. I guess welcome back. It's been almost, a year since I was playing these maps, and I guess in that time, plenty of things happened in my personal life. I'm sure everybody listening has had all sorts of incredible things happen in theirs, but of course, we're playing Doom, so we need to talk about what's progressed in my Doom career, I guess, since CPD, and that is, of course, I have another megawad under my belt. Uprising, released November last year. A little bit of a mention, just a tiny mention at the CAC Awards, which was nice. I was after more, but I'll save that for another time, really. So, I guess I originally started this commentary series as some sort of debrief for myself to get myself ready and look for different things I could be doing for my new megawad. But of course, I'm recording the last of this after this creation of my new megawad Uprising. So I guess there's more I can add, but there's also things that I'm probably going to dump on quite harshly now, actually. And first things first is we're in MAP26. This city map, the idea being that you're going through a corrupted city, lots of high-rise buildings. Doom 2 stock textures are really good for city maps, but I've done a mistake. I think a mistake already is that given the player an early super shotgun. Very it's hard to balance the beginning of your levels if you give them a super shotgun quite early on, because really you should consider the super shotgun as powerful as the rocket launcher. Actually, it's definitely up there. A lot of I guess beginner mappers or intermediate or whatever words you want to use, they like to give the super shotgun quite early on because I think they're quite worried about the player getting bored with just the chain gun, the regular shotgun, and that's understandable, but it also can make the starts of your map quite easy. Actually, you have to really ramp up the monster count. Maybe that's something you want to do, but for this map in particular, probably would have been okay to have the super shotgun kind of be like a separate fight. Would be pretty good for an excuse to create some sort of other area. But here we go, this is the downtown section. It doesn't really make any sense as an actual city, but I'm cheating, by the way, sorry. I can't be bothered. I'll do some saves soon, I forgot to save. Because it doesn't really look like a city at all, but that doesn't matter because it's Doom. You've got the road, you've got the road signals, the road signs, markers on the road or whatever, etc, etc. And that's enough, really, to communicate to the player that you're in a city. That's all the Doom player needs to believe they are where they are. And I should probably start paying attention. I'm getting killed by my almost 3-year-old map now. So this is probably one of the better looking maps, I would say. I think that some of the hell levels are quite stinky when I look back at them, but kind of thematically with these giant flesh pillars, etc, etc, it both looks good, I think. It's got nice contrast to colours, and it's great scene setting as well. It's definitely inspired by Hellbound, these levels, but definitely not that level of detail, and hopefully I would say better combat, although people I think are quite, when Hellbound was first released, quite unfair to it, and they kind of, whilst they recognised how good looking it was, a lot of people dumped on its combat, which I think was unfair. I don't think that was the focus. I think that's okay to not be the focus, but here, definitely trying to do combat and a sense of place. Not quite detail. I don't really enjoy making detail. I'm definitely, I would say, a speed mapper. Definitely. I don't really, nor can I imagine, spending multiple months on a single map like some people do, making the perfect looking environment, perfect encounters, etc, etc. I do enjoy quantity over quality sometimes, really, hence why I made CPD in a year and I also made Uprising in a year as well, which also does feature a load of city maps, quite similar to this one actually. Map 8 of Uprising, Street Fighter, is kind of the sequel to this map. And if you play that map, you'll see that I doubled down. That was the lift. I doubled down on the atmosphere. And one of the valid criticism of these maps, and maybe I've mentioned it already, it was a year ago, I can't remember, is that they're too bright, and partly the main issue is I have a monitor that doesn't actually really show me how true the colours are, how bright it is, etc. etc. It's quite a cheap monitor, I'll be honest with you, but definitely this is too brightly lit. If you go look at my Uprising maps, you see I really bring the lighting level down. I mean, I really don't usually do things like this with this little shadow here. I like to be quite efficient with my lighting, which you see in Uprising again, but definitely it helps sell the atmosphere, and I think made a worthy sequel to this map in Uprising, Map 8. But of course we're playing CPD, so I should stop talking about my project, which I think is better actually, but what's quite interesting is that some people disagree with me, and plenty of people really prefer CPD over Uprising, and that's something I've been grappling with really, because I really think that Uprising is the far superior product. It's much better, but people I think enjoy that it uses classic textures. It has the classic monsters. I think potential of Uprising that yes, it has a load of dehack changes, but it doesn't actually have enough to feel different enough that it warrants them. It doesn't really have its own identity. It's kind of stuck in the middle, I guess, between classic Doom and Uprising Doom, whatever that might be. Okay, so we've got the blue key. Just trying to remember myself. We go around, there's a backpack around here. There's a few different ways to get through to the other side of the map. Oh, backpack up here, I think. And there's a secret plasma gun we can get. So we can go this way, or we can go through the underground roads instead. And get some goodies. And when we round the corner, we should be getting to some sort of like corrupted part of the map. Here we go. And there's quite a nice looking fight up in the high-rise building, which we'll get to. First we'll deal with this. Shoot those imps that do nothing. Shouldn't really put enemies really far away that can't do anything, really. Just takes time, as Medina Doom has been saying, monster window dressing, as he calls them, which I quite like. And I don't know, sometimes with the map you're just like, oh, it looks a bit empty, maybe I'll put some monsters up there. Maybe don't. Don't waste the player's time. I mean, I'm saying that after creating some gigantic maps in Uprising, we definitely do waste the player's time. So let's go up here then. This is quite a cool looking arena. It's not particularly challenging, but all these chain guns pop out. There's an archvile you can wake up as well if you're non-inspectors. There's a secret to get as well. Oh yeah, and Cacodemons on the outside. In hindsight, archvile should just wake up straight away, shouldn't it? That would make the fight far more challenging and probably enjoyable. I really enjoy these. Oh, there's a business guy. He's quite well hidden there actually. I forget where I put them, it's been so long. There is a secret here, which lowers this, and then we get this. I quite enjoy, in the background, these buildings are darkened, so they're silhouetted, you can't really tell what they are. It helps that you don't have to detail them, that you can see I just copy pasted a load of 256 by 256 pillars around, basically, and put city textures on them. Really should have hid those lines. Didn't know how to do that when I was making CPD though. But that's a really nice way to increase sense of place, setting, mood, is that your background areas, make them a little darker than the rest of your level. So you kind of just, even you've got hills or buildings or molten lava falls or whatever, okay, they're in the background, they're not the focus for the player, but they just help increase the size of your level without actually having to make gigantic playing spaces. And it improves, I don't know, I want to say realism, but something like that. How do we get out? There's a switch. Here we go. Jump down. And now we've got a red key. We can go back to kind of some sort of like, I think some sort of sewer fight, I believe. And we kind of get the really classic Doom 2 textures coming out. All the browns, etc, etc. This is some sort of up and over fight, I think. I don't know how confident I am nowadays about it. Yes, you get the yellow kin, and these walls are going to drop down. You kind of got to go all the way around. I was reading some posts on Doom World recently about how people kind of come up with ideas of fights, and how really for a mega world like this you need to come up with like a lot of different ideas. Like, you can't really have two fights that are the same in two different levels, because you'll just be repeating them again and again and again and again and again. And what I noticed was that I see a lot of these frustrated posts on Doom World about, oh, I just can't think of anything, etc, etc. What you really need to do, and what I find really effective actually, that helped me come up with this fight actually, is you kind of just need to step away from the program, step away from the computer. Don't really write anything down either or make any notes, and just let it stew in your mind. That's the way I think about it, is just let the idea sit in your head for a while, and it should hopefully unpick itself. Actually, a lot of problems or design blocks in CPD were overcome just by taking time away from it or doing something else and then getting inspired by that. I've still got infinite height monsters off. Definitely that was one of the ways I get over just mapper's block in general. It's just by letting ideas stay in my mind for a bit and just do something else. Where am I going? Over here. I should know my map. Although I must say, we played 25 and 24 a year ago in this series, and they were definitely low points for my creativity. And I probably said in those videos that sometimes you just got to get through that, and when you're making a full mega ward, you really got to accept that not every single map is going to be a knockout blow. I mean, there are very, very good mega wards. I don't think there's any perfect mega wards though. I don't think you should aspire to do that. Just try to do your best. And this is the only fake exit of the entire mega wards. I can't really explain why. I just felt like it, I guess. Somebody said they found this quite funny, that it's the only fake exit. That is actually quite surprised them. Of course, it didn't surprise me because I knew about it. And then we're gonna exit and go to map 27. Let me guess the name for it. Appears the Gore Nest or Flesh Nest or something Eternal Doomy with an Eternal Doom soundtrack. We'll talk about why that's there. Alright, let's play it. Flesh Nest. There we go, Flesh Nest. Here we go with the Doom Eternal MIDI. So originally I had really grand ambitions for this map, that it was going to actually be a full remake of Super Gore Nest from Doom Eternal, or demake, I guess, using this MIDI, etc, etc. And I actually made some of the layout, and it was quite accurate actually for in its own limit removing Doom way. But it had all the ruined city skyline, jumping between platforms, etc, etc, all the big fights. But the issue was that the level ended up being really linear, actually kind of just one straight line, because of course you can't do room over room, so that was a bit finicky as well. I just kind of didn't really like, I don't like any levels really that are linear in nature. I have a really natural aversion to them, I would say. It feels like that's not the way you make Doom maps, I don't think. I don't really enjoy making linear levels. And the closest I've come really to really linear levels are, I guess, map 20 of Uprising, which I'll keep talking about. Okay. I think there's a few linear levels in this as well. Map 29 actually, which we'll see, which will be fun to talk about actually. It's quite linear as well, but I think it's grand enough to get away with it. So the setting of this level again is that you're kind of one up from corruption, and you're just right in the mess of the demons now. Story is, of course, you've come back from hell. You're kind of out for revenge. You're trying to stop the invasion on Earth. Is there an arch file here? No, just a chain gun. I think an arch file is going to appear later. Ooh, probably shouldn't have done this. There we go. Oh, dearie me. Okay, let's try that again. I don't have the sounds on very high, so I can't actually hear them teleporting in. Or is that? I think there's an arch file as well. I'm quite worried there might be an arch file. This is like, it's like I'm in a battle with my past self, because I really don't remember most of these traps, and that's quite a good one. And as I've been replaying CPD and talking about it, I've kind of been stuck in this battle between both not really liking the maps, but also being quite impressed with myself at the same time. And I think that's just the issue of being a creator, is that you're always kind of be overly critical of your own work, and it can help to, I think, get some perspective and play other people's maps and kind of compare your own tendencies to them and say, you know, what's the quality of my maps compared to these? What am I getting right? What am I doing wrong? Does it matter if people like my maps or not? Should I be mapping for myself? Am I mapping for somebody else? All sorts of interesting questions when you're being creative pop up. And you kind of need to be able to know how to grasp those. But definitely, I think I initially started CPD. It was kind of, I think it was the first 4 maps. I had no intentions of doing a full megawads, but they were received so positively that I just decided to kind of keep going. And then the pandemic hit, of course, so I had loads of time just to map time I don't have anymore. Parents can relate to me, as during the pandemic I became a father and now I have no time, hence the 1-year gap between videos, and why I'm just grinding through this today to get it done. Not that I'm not happy to play this, I am. There's a plasma rifle. Yeah, plasma rifle. I'm lazy with secrets. Definitely, that is a criticism I get. Actually, is the way I do secrets is usually a misaligned wall or hidden switch somewhere. I don't really do really elaborate secrets because I've said previously that I am more of a speed mapper, and elaborate secrets take loads of time and etc, etc. But really I should, because there are some great, really memorable secrets. I think of, oh, there's a guy there. Things like that. Speaking of secrets, that's fun, isn't it? Culture Shock in Ancient Aliens has a really good secret with that guy in the prison and the BFG, and Speed of Doom has a really good secrets with that when you get the BFG and then all the spectres appear, etc, etc. So definitely I think if you've kind of got that creative idea in your head, you should go for it. I think this fight was kind of very, very loosely inspired, by Abattoir, Plutonium map with like the circular room, although mine's quite a shrimpy version of it. And again, to make this a lot harder, I should have removed these big pillars in the middle. I think I'm going to die anyway, actually. Ooh, ooh. So the revenants can actually shoot at you, and then this would actually be quite a challenging fight. Using a rocket launcher might help as well. There we go, hit these 2 switches and we should be good. Should just be on the way out, off to the Docklands, where we are out of kind of the corruption, and we're going to go get on a boat. And this has a really awesome Duke Nukem MIDI. I give the player a plasma gun right away so I can start throwing things at them straight away, although it's not a super intense map. I'm saving that for 29 and 30. Let's get the super shotgun. Switch back. Some HP. And there's one dodgy design decision here, which I will happily admit to. It's where a red key door, which is there, is hidden, but it's a required part of progression, which is just a huge no-no. That the only way to actually progress is to go and pick up green armour and fall into this trap. Which is, what if they're playing continuous and they don't need green armour, or they're playing a weapon mod or something, although I never actually account for weapon mods in my designing, but anyway. And it's kind of tucked away as well, so it really kills the pace of otherwise really quite a fun map actually. Originally as well, in these big water sections, I was going to do a load of ruined boats too, but just by looking at the map slot and my personality, which I've been talking about a bit, I was just kind of take time I kind of wanted the Mega Ward done, or at least fully released, ready for feedback, ready for awards season. I was naively hoping for, foolish of me being a brand new mapper. Though some people have said that they were surprised that CPD didn't actually get a CAC award, which I find, obviously the sentiment's nice. I don't think this is really CAC award material, unless classic Doom 2 Mega Awards are really your thing. Oh, how did that happen? Never had that happen to me before. I guess, do I kill the Archvile before? Because the Archvile crosses and teleports down there. Oh, right. I've never managed to do that before. Out here. We've got the yellow key. We'll continue. Oh, let's not save right there. Okay. Whew. Quite a tough little fight there. Usually you're gonna, as soon as you go up the elevator, run straight through. It's quite a deadly little room actually. Oh! Okay, we'll replay one more time, and if I die again, I will just cheat. Because I don't want these videos to just be me dying to my own creations, although that is quite profound, I think, actually. Yeah, I'm sure there's some philosophical statement to be made there. Probably something related to Frankenstein, I imagine. Those with more literature knowledge can create some sort of comedic joke out of that. Oh, I'm getting dunked on again. Again, we've got a nice view here. I always say, look, if you can do a view, you should. You absolutely should show off how interconnected your maps are at all times. And you'll see when you're mapping, there's naturally ways just to make windows to other places. You know, usually you'll just have like a solid wall, and it's just like, just if you can put a window in there, put a window in there. It helps so much. Oh, I'm resurrecting. I'm okay with cheating. I've played this stuff enough. So you'd expect me to be able to completely destroy my own maps. Okay, one opens, or do both open the Revenants? Oh, okay. We'll go out here first. Probably should have saved the plasma. Okay, do this, and then do the rockets. Oh, so I'm concentrating there. Although I'm cheating, so why do I care? We've got the red key. We go out to the other part now and somehow not die to getting shot in the face. This quite large boxy area. Well, there are lots and lots of imps. hidden chain gunners, and there's a secret down here actually. We plop down here, open this up. Actually hidden on the auto map, I don't usually do that, and it's just a load of health bonuses. Deal with these guys. I think this gives us some plasma energy, but we're also going to have a showdown with some arachnotrons, I think. And there's our exit over there, this landing craft. We need a yellow key though. Here we go. Probably just get them all to die through infighting, surely. It's always disheartening, and I said for map 7 in particular, when your big orchestrated fights are just kind of, you just infight all your way through them. That's not difficult at all. You just infight. You do that with most big fights though, actually. Just if you give the player too much space, they can just not have to use any ammo at all. I always find that a bit boring, but then again, you probably, if there's a way for your fight to be cheesed and you don't want it to be cheesed, you should find ways to stop it from being exploited. And so most likely the answer in open areas is, oh, you should probably put an archvile in. Actually, put an archvile in, and that's usually a quick and easy solution to stopping players from just leaning back. And an archvile there would have completely changed the dynamic of that fight. Such an important enemy to know how to use effectively. Right. Speaking of archviles, there's a fight here. Going to get 2 sections are going to attack us at once, and there's kind of like 2 waves. Yeah. Same one again. Oh no, a little bit different. More hit scanners this time. There we go. And then come here, and we're going to get 2 archviles. Oh, wow. Being lazy. There we go. Come here, get the yellow key, and then we are out of here. Fun fight. I think there's a load of actually soft locks in this fight that never actually got fixed. There's a way you can run in and out or something, get stuck, or maybe I fixed it in this version. Hit here, and then our exit boat is available, and we're off to map 29. Nice vista there, isn't it? Okay, here we go. Right, the penultimate map and the beginning of the end. I mean, this map took longer to make than probably the last 3 combined, I imagine. I can't quite remember, but that sounds about right. If you've ever played maps by NJ, and if you know the name, you already know what I'm talking about, he did one map called Operation Overlord, which was all about some sort of D-Day landings-esque beach assault on some sort of terrorist organisation, in Doom of course, and you start in a landing craft with a load of allies and you storm the beach, and all your allies just die instantly. But I remember playing that I don't remember when it was, at 2008 or something that was released, or something similar, and kind of just playing it again and again and again. And some sort of beach invasion is definitely something that I've always wanted to do in Doom, but really lacked the competency of, because it makes sense that Doom Guy is some sort of one-man army, and I'm sure if you place Doom Guy on the Normandy beachings in 1944, that it would be a clean sweep, wouldn't it? They wouldn't stand a chance. And this is the kind of feeling I wanted to go for, of being kind of an unstoppable army assaulting this entrenched position, which is why it goes upwards. If you notice, you keep going up, up, up. Should get backpack up here. And definitely I think this map was a turning point in terms of my ability and confidence to make what I deem, some people might disagree actually, very large and imposing looking and maybe playing maps. And if you play Uprising, or are going to play Uprising, you'll see when you get to map 20 is quite similar to this. Map 24, although that's quite a slow paced one actually, and can't quite remember my maps. 20 and 24, I'll confidently stick with that, I think. They're both these kind of big assaults on demonic fortifications with overwhelming odds. And the music, some people may recognise it, is from Persona 5, which I was kind of binging at the time. It was actually the only reason I bought a PlayStation 4 was to play Persona 5, and the music's absolutely fantastic. And I was searching for MIDI renditions, and this was the best one I could find. I'm no musician myself, I have no idea how to even do MIDI, so I couldn't really do anything myself. But I remember I had the idea that I wanted to do for a long time of this kind of beach invasion. I had the music. Usually I decide the music before I actually make the map. I decide kind of the general theming ideas of the map, I decide the music, think of a few scenarios in my head, and then I do the mapping. I think that's quite an important way of staying on track in your map, is kind of having your music selected already. I think the music's really important for designing your map, and you should always pick a track before you make your map, I think, actually. Preferably listen to it over and over again whilst thinking of more outlandish scenarios. Right, we're going to get the plasma gun here, but you actually want the rocket launcher. Trigger. Yep. Okay. Yep, do that. And then we go to plasma. Or then we just die. We'll have one more go. I'm on 1 HP, so I'll just resurrect. Yep, I'm a cheat. Oh well. Who cares? I blame the mapper for not putting enough health in. That's what I do. Whoever made this, they should put more HP in, because obviously they have not considered the player. And another example of just put windows everywhere. This is a really cool one when you're not getting destroyed by plasma fire, because you can see an area you're going to go to later. When you get to that area, you can go, oh, look how far I've travelled. you know? Just fun. Like these red and blue stairs that are just fun to look at. Why are they there? I can't answer that question, but they're fun, aren't they? And a random monster block in line as well. And again, these kind of high vista points. For maps like this, they really help the player feel like they're progressing, because in large maps you want to constantly be showing the player that you're making progress, don't worry, you're making progress, etc, etc. Whereas if you're just throwing them into like room after room in a long straight line, you know, doing it quite a linear fashion, the player doesn't really know how long they've got left. They don't feel like they're getting through the map. Everything looks samey, all the rooms feel the same. So you must provide lots of vantage points. Is that one lost soul over there? That lost soul can stay over there. There was originally a way to just walk all the way to that area of the map through there. Luckily I stopped that. We've got a bunker system up here you want to clear out first. You can also lower the mega armor too. Deal with these bozos. There we go. Another hidden switch. Go through here. This is another kind of fortification inspired by NJ's map, although his takes you through the trenches. Really, if I wanted to be particularly devious, surely spawning some arachnotrons up there would be the way to go. Actually, I think my gameplay and my fights definitely improved in Uprising. I became a lot more competent with teleport traps and monster composition. But definitely CPD, I think, has the more classic feel of incidental encounters that you actually just kind of walk into a room and it's already populated and you don't need great big set pieces all the time. Although the next map is just one big set piece, and I will be resurrecting a lot in that map because we are not going to try and do that. And those that have played MAP30 know what I'm talking about. This is a little trench section that is again inspired by that NJ map. It's not particularly challenging. It's a bit boxy actually, and you can see the trenches on the map, so it doesn't really work. Oh, just infinite height again. Cheating. Look at me cheat. Deal with these guys. I'm going to go fight a load of revenants after killing these guys. Oh, one, he should be dead. And these are the revenants that were shooting at you right at the start of the map. So that's a little bit of revenge there. That's quite fun. That you can go in and get revenge on them. So we hit this, and we're going to have a horde of revenants. How original, I know. Some teleporting behind you. And there's a load of useless imps over here. Absolutely useless. Don't know why they're even there. Deal with these guys. Where did those revenants go? They're over here doing nothing. Blue key. And up we go for a huge Arachnotron fight. Oh, we missed a secret. And we remember where the secret is. In this odd coloured shape in the wall. I think secrets like that are fun. I like obvious secrets. I've been playing Alien Vendetta recently and really enjoying the secrets there because I can actually find them. Because they are like, oh, here's an odd coloured wall, etc, etc. I play a lot of modern maps and the secrets are so absolutely cryptic that I just can't even access them, and it really puts me at a disadvantage actually. But I don't have, I don't know, that kind of secret hunting brain inside me. I like the simple ones instead. Although I must say Alien Vendetta also does the whole secrets are necessary to stand a chance in some maps as well, which is a no-no. Now in co-op there's actually a load of cyber demons, or just the one cyber demon I forget down here, and really that should have been the same for single player as well, because it's quite a large open space. See, up there is where you were previously, where you got the plasma gun. All links together. A lot of it's accidental actually. You know, you see an opportunity, you're like, oh, if I just like put a box there, you could totally be able to see the other part of the map. You should just do it. Just do it. I've been saying that a lot. Just do it. If you can connect your map together in a way, it doesn't even have to like be for gameplay. Just if you can see a bit of a map from another part of the map, you should do it. It helps feel everything is more cohesive. Right, final fight. This is Megasphere, BFG, Surprise, and Icon of Sin. I did this just because I felt I had to. That if you're doing a Doom 2 Mega Awards, the icon needs to be in there in some way, and it's kind of an inversion that now the demons are in the landing craft or whatever and you're attacking them, something like that. But yeah, generally I wanted this to be really easy. It's a novelty, because Icon of Sin is, this one is just not fun. You shouldn't make your Icon of Sin fights hard, because nobody enjoys playing against the Icon of Sin. That's why you get loads of ammo, loads of health. And it's not even difficult to kill the icon, as long as you don't get any arch files. Right, can we just do this? Oh, no! Oh dear! And I said it was easy. Curse the pain elemental. Right, let's try again. Oh, let's try one more time. Might be cheating at this point. Getting destroyed by my own map. We've got loads of ammo. We're fine. Getting a lot of pain elementals. I think that's the reason why. There we go. Done so. So the idea being that narratively that blows out a hole into some sort of demon dimension, and then you get here for map 30, the climb. Pretty unforgiving, utterly vicious map. Let's just get started. Probably one of the coolest songs ever. I think it's from Requiem, map 19. So I mean, the reason why this map is so horrid is because of there are 6 in total cyber demons up there that you have no chance of fighting until you get the BFG, and they just shell you all the way around. They're not too horrible that there are places you can hide from them, but if you're out in the open, you're going to get shelled. It is brutal. You need to get the plasma gun and clear out this, get inside, and I'm going to have to really, although I am cheating so I don't know why I care too much, but concentrate in order not to just die foolishly all the time. Get the plasma gun, which is too well hidden for its own good. I should have made it way more obvious, or just given it to the player at the start. I don't know why I did this, but it's just a poor design decision, that's all. You make them, and you don't notice until after the fact. There is a secret berserk here, which we'll get, just for our HP. Getting into this room can be quite tough. You don't want to drop down until everything's dead. Now this was the map where I learned that you can't actually really do teleport traps in it because they telefrag each other, and I didn't clock on until I was about halfway through making this map that, oh, I'm going to have to rely completely on monster closets then, because you can't really teleport many in, because those revenants, only one teleported in on one specific spot. So if you want to do a teleport trap, they all have to teleport into their own individual square, which becomes very labour intensive, and you still can't really do big ambushes either. So you've got to find alternate ways, but usually most people do a credits map or an icon map for map 30, but I decided to do it on map 29 to oh, it was inspired, but there's a classic Mega Ward, or it might be Memento Mori 2 maybe, or something similar, or Strain or something like that, where there's a fake exit icon of sin. I don't remember, I think it was a slot 27 or 28 where you hit the exit button and it just reveals an icon of sin, and you've got to do an icon of sin battle at the end of the level. And that's what map 29 was inspired by, because the shock of the icon of sin kind of makes you forget how rubbish the icon is, because it's a complete novelty. You're like, oh yeah, icon of sin, I don't want to fight on map 30, but icon of sin on map 29, that's quirky, that's cute, I'll allow it. That's kind of why I think I could get away with it on map 29. It's just a little bit different. Okay, let me lower this gigantic flesh wall. And we want to load up completely on ammo and do some infighting actually. Oof. Okay, they're fighting. Don't want to trigger the ambush yet though, because it is rough. Remember, you're doing this once there's 3 cyber demons looking down on you as well. Kind of like if you walk out beyond the halfway point, you're a target. You'll get shelled. Like that. I don't usually get killed by them actually. It's just another kind of mental tax you got to pay attention to. I'm a bit tired after playing these very long maps as well. I don't mind making them though, which is unfortunate for the people who play my maps. Definitely there are things in Uprising that I would shorten, but my enthusiasm got the better of me. Now, if I die, I'm just going to cheat and resurrect, but this fight is actually really quite difficult if you're, playing properly. Because trying to DPS down 3 archviles is actually quite tough, and you need to, because the space is so open. There's nowhere to hide from them really, and they'll be resurrecting high tier enemies as well, and you're getting shelled by cyber demons too, and there's pain elementals. It's kind of just absolutely awful. You wish you have a BFG. And this is a fight, like trying to do it without cheating is still remarkably difficult for me actually. I find it quite tough, this fight. And you don't hit the switch too early, because then you open yourself up to a load of Arachnotron and fire and demon swarms and whatever. I must say, I think this is one of the ugliest maps in the entire MegaWad though. It's a complete mishmash. It's got no kind of visual theming at all. It's just I mean, it's meant to be a corrupted city, fleshy hell fortress nonsense, but it just doesn't really visually make any sense at all. Which I guess is maybe part of the reason as well. You're meant to be at the heart of the corruption, heart of the demons. You're putting them down once and forever. It's meant to look weird. Surely, maybe. Right. There is a soul sphere here. So I remember this map was actually made quite quickly. I think, hence the fact that, can you see it's actually really quite blocky. So I made it quite quickly. A lot of mega structures rather than small details. And I think I drew this one on paper. I think I still might have the drawings of it. I drew it on paper first to plan it out. Originally the height variation was going to be a lot higher, and it was going to be like climbing some sort of very, very high mountain, but that very quickly, when I looked at the height differences, was going to make gameplay not as fun. So the climb, as it's called, is more of the slight incline, I guess, because you don't really go up that much until right at the end. And now we've got all these Revenant Islands and surprise archviles you need to be ready for. Actually get cyber demons to do a lot of the work. I might just skip some of this and just kill the archviles and move on. I kind of want to just get to the final fights. that's the interesting bit. The ending for its narrative purposes. This is a brutal map. I'm really not playing optimally, but I want to. Well, I'll be honest with you. I want to finish this series, so I'm just going to rush through this. This is fun. It's like a time attack. You got to rocket through the zombie men before the revenants catch up to you. And I hope nobody misses that BFG. I think it's quite obvious, but anyway. And then you've got to BFG the 6 cyber demons which have been shelling you, which is a great act of revenge. Feels really good, but it's also a real challenge as well, because things like that happen. But let's deal with them. Or just die again and again and again. Obviously my Doom skills have gotten worse since I made this, because I do remember beating this saveless multiple times actually. I think really concentrating though. Come up here and there's like 2 token spider masterminds, so I felt surely they have to appear at some point, don't they? I don't actually remember if there are any spider masterminds in the other maps. I'm trying to think now, are there any other spider masterminds in CPD? They're really horrible to use. Alright, we'll ignore the rest, we'll just do this final fight, which is not actually that difficult, I say, as I've resurrected like 20 times this map. But it's more just, I don't remember if there are archviles here or not. Which is more important that, yeah, there are archviles, okay. That you stay on the move and find the archviles. There's the archvile. This is not the prettiest room. You can tell this map was rushed, really, can't you? It's just really blocky. Nothing particularly inspiring about it. Definitely, when you're making the final map in a Mega WOD you've been working on for almost a year, maybe you can be forgiven for being like, I kind of just want it to be over, you know. Kind of done with stock Doom 2 textures, stock Doom 2 monsters, etc, etc. Just want it done. Which is how I made it in a year, but it's also why it's got a lot of issues as well. Maybe not the design philosophy to follow. Oh, 2 cyber demons, okay, and we just died. That's fine, I enjoy dying. Done loads of dying today. And the other one spawns, I don't remember how many archviles. Like, 6? 4. Oh, missed 2 times there. There we go. Let's go do that again. And then we've got a final gauntlets. So you run through here and you see this weird eyeball with all the suits. That was meant to be like the main demon villain, and you shoot a rocket into the eyeball and then the map ends and you win. But there was some discussion and it was decided to bring the businessmen more into the story, and they were behind it all, and they were the G-man third party watching you do all of this. And the destruction of these cyber demons is meant to be you know, defeating hell, destroying all their generals. The businessmen there kidnap this eyeball, which is like the masterminds of the demon invasion. So the end story being that you've been played all along, and that in your effort to save Earth, you've actually handed it over to some sort of nefarious alien organisation, Half-Life 2 stuff, things like that. It's heavily inspired by Half-Life. And the final trick, you can see it here, is that, oh look, there's the exit, there's sunlight, off we go. No. Captured by the suit. See, they've got the eyeball there as well, and they put you into the cryo chamber. Whew. And we get this. 20 TML is made in 2020. TML being my initials. Congratulate you on completing your continuous professional development, CPD, i.e. if you do any sort of well, you work in any industry really, you do CPD. And of course the story being that this map, this Mega Award, was made from doodles during the CPD sessions I was in when I should have been working, and that's kind of exploded into this Mega Award here. And we get this pic here on the right. Doom Guy's been put into cryo sleep. When will he be released? Never. I know a few people may remember I put out a demo for WMD, Weapon of Mass Destruction, being the sequel to CPD. I'll never make that. I'll go on record and say I'm never going to make a sequel to this Mega Awards. There are other things I want to do. Sorry. Or maybe I'm completely lying and I'm going to release one tomorrow. You never know. Maybe I'll just leave that up in the air. But if you've managed to watch all of this, wow, I'm impressed. You must be very interested in the development of a random Mega Award from 2020. Well done. Hopefully you've learnt something. Find me on Doom World under Cheese Wheel if you want to chat design. I am very busy. I will take a long time to reply to you, but private message me on Doom World or comment on one of these videos. You got a question, I'll respond to you within a year or so, I imagine. So thank you so much. That is the CPD commentary over. Uprising in the future? Maybe actually. I'd love to talk about Uprising. But for now, thank you for watching. Goodbye.